Hello guys, full time at the Emirates Stadium was 3-0 to Arsenal, which means the aggregate score 4-3 against Rennes, and Arsenal through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Look, we should be getting through to the quarterfinals of that competition, and you would expect Arsenal to overcome a team like Rennes. But given how difficult we made it for ourselves after the first leg, this was a really good win. And it puts a cap on what's been a really good period, I think, for Arsenal. You know, setting aside what happened in that first leg, which I think we can ascribe quite a lot of to the sending off for Socrates and a bit of misfortune, ultimately. It's been a really good period. You know, we played very well at Spurs, probably should have won that game, but points still creditable. We got through against Rennes over two legs, and including the fantastic comeback tonight. And we beat Manchester United, and actually getting two clean sheets against United and Rennes consecutively feels like a really big thing. Unai Emery stuck with the back three, which meant Mustafi came in for Socrates, obviously suspended, and Cech came in for Leno. Other than that, it was the same team who beat United, and we started fantastically. You know, we got two goals pretty early on. Yes, one appeared to be offside, Aubameyang, before he crossed for Maitland-Niles, but it was a brilliant start, a lot of urgency in the play. I thought Maitland-Niles was very good all night. You know, he had a very good second half against United, and you're sort of looking for him to kick on from there. I thought he did just that. I thought this was probably his best, most complete performance in an Arsenal shirt. And in a position where some say he's not necessarily a natural, I think he's really improving quickly, which is what we need, because you know, Bellerin's not going to be back anytime soon, so we really need him to flourish. And I think as a wing-back, he does do that. And I thought there was more balance, again, in this game in terms of our attacks down the flanks. You know, they were coming down the right as often as they were coming down the left. When you don't have Iwobi and Mkhitaryan, the onus is kind of on the strikers, Aubameyang and Lacazette, to be the people who split and who play the wing-backs in. I thought they did that pretty well in the first half. The problem was that once we got 2-0 up, we almost sort of didn't know what to do. I think psychologically it was kind of a tricky position to be in. Maybe we got there earlier than we anticipated. And at that point we kind of took our foot off the gas. And I think Rennes as well played with a bit more freedom, because they were like, well, we've got to go and score. Their minds were made up for them, and our minds entered a period of uncertainty. And for the next half hour, really, you know, the second half of the second half and the second half of the first half and the start of the second half, we were quite uncomfortable. That said, you know, they didn't create a whole host of chances. You know, you can think of the one where they hit the post in the second half, but that aside, there were a couple of close-ish offside calls. But I mean, for all, you know, they sort of had decent territory, I never felt particularly threatened by them. I thought Nacho Monreal had a very good game at centre half. I honestly think, as a kind of left-sided centre half in a back three, you won't find many better. I think his ability to step up and kind of, you know, break away from the back line and win the ball high is so useful, and such a necessary part, I think, of playing in a back three. You know, you almost have to push on, because you know, you've got that man inside you as the deepest man. I think he does it so well, and I do think he's a bit underappreciated. Perhaps understandably, because Kolasinac is getting so much praise, and Kolasinac I thought was really good again. And no coincidence, I thought that as soon as Iwobi and Mkhitaryan came on in the second half, we found Kolasinac getting an assist. I thought they were both very good, and they were the right sub. I think they could have been made 10 minutes earlier, actually. I thought Ozil was fading, and Lacazette on a booking. Rennes were looking to get him sent off. I thought they were sort of very tricky in that respect all night, diving, rolling around, leaving a foot in here and there. And I think that's why we saw some of the handbags that we did in the second half. Iwobi kind of implying one of the French players smelt, which what was sort of enjoyably childish. Speaking of enjoyably childish, Aubameyang's celebration was a nice one. The Black Panther mask. I mean, if I'm honest, I think maybe he could have waited until he got the hat-trick goal, because it looked like he was playing wearing a mask the way he missed those last two chances, which would have really settled the nerves. Anyway, didn't need it. We were fine. 3-0 in the end. And I have to give credit to the players and to the manager. They've come through this period really strong. We're in a great chance of making the top four. We're still in the Europa League. Let's hope for a decent draw. I'm just scrolling down the teams that are still left in. Slavia Prague would do me. I know they've knocked out Sevilla, but I feel like that's a bit of a fluke maybe. Frankfurt have knocked out Inter Milan. Well, that's another big team gone. Yeah, there's basically anyone but Chelsea would be nice, because I think playing Chelsea at this stage in the battle of the top four would be very distracting and take a huge amount of resource and energy and focus. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching as always. I'm off to Lille for the weekend, where we got Jovino from. Gonna have words with some people over there. Alright, bye.